Hey everybody, how you doing? It's lunchtime and you know what that means. It's time for another great episode of Lunchtime Talk with Steve. So today we actually have two people that are going to be on the show with us. One is Jess Sheena, and you might know her already from her show Jess Sheena and Friends. She's on Wednesdays and Sundays actually on Facebook Live, and the show is called The Discussion with Jess Sheena and Friends. So you guys, if you haven't watched it, you have to take a look at it. All right. So we're going to have her on today with us, and we're going to have Gary McDonald, who, is always a favorite on our show. We're going to be talking about relationships and, just different things to look out for. All right. So I'll be back with you guys in just a moment after this quick commercial break and the intro. All right. See you guys soon. If your car could talk, it would say call Curvin's Car Detailing Service. It's mobile and they can come to you no matter where you are in Broward County. Give Curvin a call, 954-549-8507, and tell him that Steve sent you. Let me tell you about CCTV RX. With over 30 years in the security industry here in South Florida, they have proven themselves to be the first choice when it comes to security professionals. So whether you're trying to secure your home or your business, there's no other choice. Give them a call today for a free estimate. 754-213-2820.
Baby, won't you take me there? I want some real good food to eat. I want shucking and jiving. Shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving. Shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving.
Well, I know I got what you want. I know you like that giant shrimp. My son, fish, and them geechee grits. My granddaddy make you have a fit.
Right on.
I try to give you all of my best. I do it straight from the heart. Cook it straight from the soul. Now, straight from the soul. Yeah.
Come on down to Sugar and Jive, the Cajun food with an old school groove. Our designers to get your taste palette back in line, baby. Follow us at We Shuck.
Yep. If y'all want some good food, go down to Shuck It and Jive. All right. All right. So we are here today, and we have Just Shayna on the line with us. And I'm excited to have you on the show. I can't even talk, and people that know me know that I'm never speechless. All right.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I appreciate you being here. All right, so let's just, well, first off, introduce yourself. I know, like I just told them, that you have your show on Wednesday and Sunday nights. So explain to my viewers a little bit about your show, and then we're gonna jump into our topic.
Okay, no problem. Well, I'm Just Shayna. I consider myself to be a social media socialite. I am a content builder, a brand builder on social media. My platform started out giving a voice for men of color to actually voice their opinion about relationships, and it's kind of curtailed into just supporting our culture as a whole, and just talking about everything under the sun with relationships as a whole together, as men and women. And so, yeah, basically that's what we talk about on our show. We cover everything from politics, sex, relationships, headline news, entertainment.
So you guys are the whole, like the whole meat and potatoes of it, if you will.
Right.
All right. So then, you broke up there for a second, almost disappeared. All right. So basically then, you would be the person that's right for the discussion that we're having today, because we really want to talk about some of the relationship things. I've been posting a few things on my page, and I've been getting a lot of, feedback from people and some pushback in some cases. But one of the things that I wanted to talk about is where we always see the comment that women are always saying there are no good men out there. Is it that there are no good men out there? Is that just that the women are choosing the same type of man all the time?
I'm sorry, it kind of blanked out. Your service kind of went out. I didn't see you.
Yeah, you disappeared. I don't know what happened there.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see you. That's kind of strange.
Yeah, hold on one second. Okay, go ahead. Ask the question again. Maybe the thing will come back on.
All right. So basically, and the thing is, online, you can see. Actually, nope. Yeah, you disappeared online. All right. Looks like your connection dropped. All right, so she's going to be back with us in just a second. We'll have her reconnect in a moment. But, any of you guys that want to answer the question, you can also call in. We also have a call-in. So if you guys want to, let me put the number on the screen where you can call in. Where's that number? All right, we have... One second. All right. Yeah, I was trying to put the number on the screen on there where you could call in. It is 954. I'm putting it up now. Area code 954-933-TALK. All right. So it's 954 933 8255. You guys could call in at any time, and we'll jump right in the conversation with you. All right. Let me scroll that on the bottom of the screen so we can have it on there. So it's 954-933-TALK, TALK. So 954-933 8255. So if any of you guys want to call in, chime in, let me know. It's pretty strange that she didn't come back on yet. I don't know. Let's see. Nope, she still didn't come back on. All right, so any of you guys that want to chime in on that one, just let me know because I'm curious. Women are always saying there are no good men out there, and then it's like, is it that there are no good men, or is it that it's just that you keep choosing the same kind of guy? I mean, and like I was reading an article the other day on Facebook, and it was an article from a newspaper here in Florida, in northern Florida, and one of the things that they talked about was this lady that, and I'll say lady because I call all women ladies, but this lady that she was arrested for ripping the skin from her man's scrotum. She grabbed his scrotum so vigorously, as they put it in the report, that she ripped the skin from his scrotum. But the crazy part is, she had a domestic abuse charge for beating another guy before, another boyfriend she had before. So it's like he got into this knowing that she was already a violent person at least one time before when she got arrested, maybe more. So it's like, I mean, I don't know. Can we still at that point say it's I don't know. Well, it looks like she's back with us. Here we go. Here we go.
Sorry, I don't
How
know.
are you? How are you? How are you? I don't know. I mean,
Welcome to
right.
electronics, I guess. I have no idea what happened.
This is the new normal. You know how it goes,
Yeah, I had to completely sign back in. But anyway, I'm sorry about that. So
I tell people all the time, I watch Jimmy Fallon and all those guys at night, and I see them having the same issues. If they have a multi-million-dollar production and they have these issues, I don't feel bad.
Right, that part.
All right. So the question was, do you like you always hear women saying that there are no good men out there and all men are dogs and all men are this and all kind of stuff. Is it that there are no good men, or is it that these women just keep choosing the same kind of guy? I was just explaining to the viewers right before you came back on that there was an article in a newspaper here in Florida, in northern Florida, where this lady got arrested. You always hear women saying that there are no good. Turn on the yeah, because I was getting the feedback from the other one. So in the article, she grabbed her boyfriend's scrotum so hard and pulled it that she ripped the skin from his testicles. Yeah. But the thing is, then in the article it said that she was arrested before for domestic abuse against another guy. So I mean, when he came into this relationship, he already knew that she was arrested at least once for beating another man. So it's like, is it that there are no when people go in and they see these things, what do you think? What's the
I think my personal opinion is, and I'm trying to get away from us as a culture talking about our issues out loud. But being that this is a platform where we're talking to one another about it, I think the issue is not to say that there isn't any good men out there. I definitely don't like to say that. And I don't think the issue is per se that women just keep choosing the wrong men. I think what happens is when people talk about relationships and wanting to get with people, I think there's just a lot of hurt people not taking time to really heal, and they're hurt people. So in this particular situation, it's easier for people to not take ownership for themselves and take responsibility for themselves, and it's just easier to blame someone else. You understand what I'm saying? So to answer your question, are there men out there who have done dirt and aren't responsible enough? Yes, absolutely. Are there women out there who are continuously making the wrong decisions, not waiting, not taking care of their personal issues so they can't keep making the wrong decision in men? Absolutely. I think on both parties, they're both responsible for their outcomes and the people who they choose to be with.
All right. And just for clarification, though, the lady in the newspaper wasn't us, but
Well, I gotta get
but
that.
but the thing is, it's just because we see it all the time and we hear it all the time. Yes, we might hear it more about ourselves because that's more of the circle that we're in. But it's just so crazy that we hear it, and especially, and I used the example before, just a couple of days ago when I was speaking to someone else, and you might see a woman that gets a new guy, and the guy has like 4 kids from 4 different women that and then she picks him up and he goes, oh, he doesn't take care of them, but I'll be different.
Right.
why why is it that women feel, can better question, do women really feel that they can change a man?
Yes. They do.
Why?
um I want to say it's partly insecurity, but partly arrogance in itself, and partly hope. A lot of women who find themselves in that situation are hoping for the best when it comes to them. I'm hoping that I'm the one who can change him, and that mindset is detrimental, in my humble opinion, because you should never want to get with somebody or to get into a relationship with the fact of having to change them. So in other words, if you meet someone and off top, you're not on the same level with them and you are already looking at ways to fix and change them, that is a clear indication and a red flag that might not be somebody who you want to start something with.
I know, right? That's like going into the car dealership and buying a car and then go, okay, I'm going to paint the car. I'm going to put different rims on there. I'm going to change the seats. I'm going to change the grill. Oh, you don't want that car. You might as well get the car that you want.
I mean, history is what it is. So if you, and not to degrade anybody who has multiple children, but if you do find a man who has multiple children and multiple mothers for his kids, though, that's not a problem if he's taking care of his business, if he's handling it, if he's being responsible. The issue that comes along with that is if he's not taking care of his business, if he has tumultuous relationships with his the mother of his children, that is a clear indication that those are things that he's going to bring to the relationship that's automatically going to cause problems in your relationship.
Exactly. Because my thing is, if he's not taking care of the others, he's definitely not going to take care of yours. I mean, and I tell people all the time, I mean, seriously, I mean, no disrespect to anyone, but what makes you more special than the others? He didn't go into the other relationship and tell them, girl, I'm not going to take care of you and your kid.
Right. I mean, the whole family dynamic has changed, and I think people need to come to the table with very clean hands and very transparent mindset. I think a lot of people, and I talk to a lot of people about this, when you come to the table, the questions shouldn't be, well, what do you have to offer me? What can I get from you? The question should be, what is it that I have to offer? What am I bringing to the table? That's how you establish what it is that you attract, what it is that you need, and you can set the boundary clearly. I think in a lot of situations, people come to the table setting unrealistic boundaries because they haven't checked themselves yet.
Okay, and what about so you mentioned the honesty part of it. How honest should a person be on the first date or even the second date?
When you say how honest, what do you mean? Like,
I mean, you don't want the guy coming to you on the first date and go, hey, I still live at home with my mom, and
yeah, you should be very transparent. I think the biggest problem, and I had a conversation like this the other day, was like, women probably men would find women a little bit more willing to work with them if they were honest up front, because all we want is a really justified and honest opportunity to decide whether or not if we want to deal with you. So what the problem is, when you start to delay information for however long and then feelings get involved, That's where the betrayal comes in for women, where we feel like, well, damn, I wish you would have told me this, you know, a month ago or 2 months ago, versus we're now 6 months to a year in. You know what I mean? I think a lot of times we feel as though we're nervous. We didn't really feel like the connection was going to take off the way it was. And we delay information that's imperative to be shown in the beginning that affects the whole rest of the relationship.
Okay, so what would you want that guy to tell you in the beginning? What would you like to hear? I mean, of course, if he has kids, then that's one thing that you're going to say, okay, yeah, I have 3 children, or, you know, whatever.
Whatever he feels that he would want me to be truthful about, he do the same.
Okay.
So if I had 6 children and 6 baby daddies, is that something that you would want to know?
Definitely. I'd be like, wait a second. She's pretty fertile, I think.
Right. So, I mean, it's very clear, you know, the same way that you want to be treated, treat me this. Like, I don't really go into too much of, you know, explaining to a gentleman how I want to be treated. I just treat him the way that I want to be treated. You know what I mean? Because verbally people can say like, I want this, and this, and not do it. So personally, I tend to show them how I want to be treated.
And that's another thing. I mean, a lot of people, we say what we want, but we don't know what we want. And not only don't we know what we want, we say we want this, but then we're willing to accept something else. We're willing to compromise. And that's something that always gets me. It's like, I mean, and I'm guilty of it. I mean, we've all done it. We all do it. We all compromise on things, but how far should we compromise? I mean, it's like, you want should you compromise?
I don't think you should compromise. I really don't. I don't think it depends on where you are. Let me rephrase that. It depends on where you are. In the beginning, I think you should set boundaries and healthy boundaries. This would, allow you the opportunity to become comfortable in knowing who you are. I think people kind of just get together and don't really communicate. They just like, hey, we're chilling, we're going with the flow. And then it kind of leads into where it leads into. And there aren't any boundaries that are set. For myself, and particularly, I just let a gentleman know what it is that I am not willing to put up with. I'm not here to manipulate him into doing what I want to do, but I just let him know, like, listen, there's just certain things that I'm not willing to tolerate. And if you're not comfortable enough to express that at any time, then you're not ready to meet anyone or to be in a relationship, because you're only setting yourself up to completely compromise and be unhappy.
Okay, so we also see, and a lot of guys can attest to this one. There are a lot of women out there that they would just go on dates to get free meals. And if anyone is out there that wants to time, the number is on the bottom of the screen: 954-933-TALK. That's 954-933-8255. So if anyone wants to chime in, the lines are open. Go ahead and call in, because I don't want to make it seem like these are just my opinions and stuff like that. I want you guys to feel free to to chime in and say something. And if I'm wrong, say I'm wrong. But so seriously though, there are a lot of women out there. They go out with John on Monday, Tom on Tuesday, Richard on Wednesday, and it's like free meals all over the place.
Okay, so let me explain to you. Let me address that, because I hear that a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's casual dating. Like for guys, I think that is so hypocritical for men to feel like if women are going out with different men, if they're being asked out on dates by the man, I feel like this: if the man asks you out, then he should pay. If the woman asks you out, she should pay. That's how I feel. I feel like when we go on the first date, I feel that should be Dutch. We pay for each other and that's it. I mean, we pay for ourselves. We pay for ourselves and that's it. Because if that's like me calling you over my house. Hey, come on over, and then expecting for you to cook my meal.
Well, if you call and say, "Hey, come on over," I'm bringing something to the house. I'm not going to come empty-handed. I'll bring a bottle of wine.
Are you
I'll
going
bring,
to be bringing
you
a
know,
full meal?
it depends on me because I might just say, "Hey, what do you want to eat?" Oh, Chinese. Okay, no problem. I'll stop at
I just personally don't think when you invite someone anywhere to do anything, that payment should be expected. You're inviting them, meaning that I'm here to treat you. That's what invitation is.
It depends. I mean, if I invite you to come and go to, let's say, I don't know, Morton Steakhouse, and I'm like, okay, we're just gonna go grab some bar bites and a couple
Morton's is not just a grow or go to grind. That is like we've been together for 6 months to a year. You bae, I'm bae. Why would you be taking a random woman to Morton's? Like no.
Okay, so let's say we're then let's say Red Lobster.
Okay.
Okay, that's round the way. Okay, so yes, if we go to Red Lobster and I say, okay, well, and I'm looking at something like a $15 meal or whatever, and you bust out with the lobster tails and and stuff like that.
But I don't understand why does that even matter? Like if you're inviting someone out to eat, now you're gonna curtail what they can order. I mean, if you're gonna be that nitpicky about it, don't even bother asking a female out.
Let me bring the mic closer so that I can answer that one. Yes, I'll be nitpicky about it.
Oh, well then, guess what? Don't even bother asking a female out. That's my whole point. Like I'm a little bit different. I'm just trying to keep it really transparent. I'm the type of woman where if I am asked out on a date, I will offer to pay for drinks. I'll offer to pay the tip or something like that.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Just different. But the mindset for a gentleman to ask a woman out with the concept of his mind is like, oh, I hope she's not here to get a free meal. You should have already figured out what type of woman that you're asking out on a date.
Well, see, but that's the thing, though. And France is saying a man should always pay on the first date. But here's the thing, though. Okay, so let's say that man goes out 2 dates a week, but he's going to be broke by the time he's done. I mean, because he's going out on 2 dates.
That's the price of casual dating. Then you know what? That's what casual dating is. Why would you want? I don't understand what the concept is. Like, if you cannot afford to date multiple women, don't. I'll
be like, so you have my phone number, right? She's like, yeah. Okay, so cash at me half of that, okay?
I'm gonna tell you exactly what type of signal that sends to a woman. Number one, you cheat. Number two, now you're gonna be trying to penny nick everything, like to invite someone out and then feel some type of way because they actually ordered something that they like is just like beyond my imagination. I'm just a little different. Like, even if I invite a gentleman out to dinner, then I know that I'm responsible for the payment, and then I'm not gonna sit around and be like, "What you picking on that menu?" Like, I'm not gonna. I've already gathered it in my mind. So
Paula said he can stay home and cook.
Like, that's part of the process of casual dating. Like, I wish men would stop that. Like, oh, women out here are just want a free meal. I know we're hearing it on the news, and I know and let me clarify that. Real women do not operate that way. Real women do not operate that way.
You said you wish men would stop that, right? Men will stop that when women stop that.
I think that is such a cliche, and I think it's like really played out. If you're gonna ask somebody out that you're generally interested, here's the thing, and I know I posted this one time before. I said, you know what? Because I'm so sick of this conversation. No, everybody pay for their own meal until y'all get married.
Oh, that's what I said. That's what I
done. So you pay for your meal, I pay for my meal until we're married, and that's it. But
either that, or the other thing you could do is when you're ready to order, you order for both. Okay, yes, we'll both have the $15 special. Thank you.
Oh my God, I'm not. No, I'm gonna tell you what. If I've ever asked them
a glass of water, please.
The guy is like, oh, you can order this, I'm gonna be like, you know what? I'm good. And yeah, I'm happy I drove here myself. So,
That's the other thing. Should the man come and pick you up, or you just meet at the restaurant? That because if you meet at the restaurant, you got a quick getaway when you want to leave.
if it's the first date, I would suggest you guys meet. It just depends. Because listen, you can go maybe if it's like a where you guys get exchange each other's numbers, and within
Mhm.
2 days you make a date, right? Then I would say yes, everybody drive their own vehicle. But there are some situations where you guys have been communicating for like weeks or months, you could be far apart, and then you make a conscious decision to meet. Then yes, I feel as though the gentleman should come pick up the lady. You know what I mean? It just depends on the situation and how you feel. But if it's a quick first date, you guys just met, absolutely. Number one, because you don't know if she's crazy and you don't know if he's crazy. You need an exit.
Well, she might be crazy. I don't know. I'm just saying. So Steven's gonna have a lot of first and last dates. Well, yeah. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If when he puts the check on the table, if when the waiter puts the check on the table, and I'm reaching, and I don't see you reaching, I'm like you said, you at least would put the tip or something like that. I mean, it's like bring something to the table besides just a beautiful face, because I mean, it's like I don't know. And then okay. So let's say the man pays for the first date. How many dates should he continue paying for before she puts in?
Okay, so there's certain signs to know if a lady if a lady is into you, and I'm talking about ladies. I'm not talking about chicks and hood rats. There's certain signs.
Mhm.
So this is how you would tell. So if a gentleman does meet a lady and she is interested in you, you'll find that she's willing to reach back as well in the same sentiment. So she will be like, hey, you know what? I want to go check this out. And she probably would be the one to take care of that next date. In order to keep everything cool, you would find a lady always willing to reach back in some type of sentiment. So it's like, whatever the next date is, let's say it be the movie. You know what I mean? She might pay the entry and you could buy the popcorn and the soda, or you could pay the entry and she'll buy the popcorn and soda. So
See,
if
that's
you
what I'm
find
talking
that a female is not reaching back in the same sentiment, then you know you have a selfish one.
You know, it was like last year that I don't remember where I was driving. And I know I took a picture. I got to look for it and find it. Where I saw this guy riding a bicycle with a lady in the bar of the bicycle, and it's like I'm thinking to myself, she's a keeper, not because you know or anything. I'm like even in your lowest time, this woman is right there. I'm pretty sure, and she was very pretty. She could have got a guy, you know, with a car, or whatever. But it's like these are the things. I mean, those days, and correct me if I'm wrong. Those days where people are staying together during the hard times are slowly coming to an end. I mean, are you finding that women and men, I'm not saying just women, that people are willing to stay with you during that hard time like they were before, like our grandparents' days and stuff like that?
Yeah, those days are over. Those days are over.
He's like, I'm
And I
not going
and
to
I
ride with the
feel and
bicycle.
I feel rightly so. They should be. I think people
Mhm.
are more now that I'm getting older, my concepts of relationships and the things of being with one another mean different things to me. I think the concept of proving that you're a ride or die chick, meaning that you'll stay with somebody for no matter what, is like outdated. You know what I mean? Because at some point, I believe the healthiest relationship you can have is with yourself. So if you're in a situation where you don't feel happy, it's your responsibility to make yourself happy. Having a woman ride on handlebars and consider her to be a ride or die does not constitute her making her into a ride or die. That's just a chick who don't mind riding on the handlebars. Like that's how I feel about it. Like you know what I mean? There's certain qualities about myself that I really take personally: integrity, honesty, dedication. These are qualities that people need to look at when they come to dealing with anybody. That is what makes you a ride or die, not the fact that, okay, you're down too and you just can't move a certain type of way so it looks like you're a ride or die chick. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I feel like these can cause underlying issues, And so our idea of being a ride or die chick is definitely misconstrued with the fact that just because you're struggling, I'm supposed to struggle too.
Well, here's a question though, and we see this a lot. We see where, the woman said, "Oh, babe, if the guy in jail for 5 years, whatever, I'm going to wait for you, blah, 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 blah." But then he loses job. Another guy loses job and boom, it's like, I mean, seriously, how can you wait for a man for 5 years in jail, but you can't struggle with the man if he loses job, and he needs 6 months to get back on his feet? I mean, is that a
situation is different? I'm gonna keep it 100. No woman is waiting 6 years for a man to come out of jail. Let's just be honest with that. Let's keep that 100.
I tell you, she's waited 6 years, but that's you call it.
She's not. She didn't wait the 6 years, bro. She didn't do it. But and then the other sentiment was, if a woman needs to understand what type of man that she's getting with, right? And in a situation when you are with a gentleman and the dynamics change, there are certain characteristics that show you who a person is before you even start getting into turmoil. So it could take one thing to push it to the level to really bust it open. But if you find a woman who is like ragging you down now that you've been maybe a month or two.
We lost her again. All right. We're going to use this as a time to go to a commercial break because we just lost her. She'll be back with us in just a moment. She's going to, there we are. I think you came back in. Are you back? You're muted. I can't hear you. There you go.
I'll take a step back for 1 second. I think I have to fix something on here.
I'm gonna run a commercial break real quick. So go ahead and take care of.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Baby, won't you take me there? I want some real good food to eat. I want shucking and jiving.
Come on down to Shuckin' and Jivin', Cajun food with an old school groove. Our designers to get your taste palette back in line, baby. Follow us at We Shuckin'.
If your car could talk, it would say call Curvin's Car Detailing Service. It's mobile and they can come to you no matter where you are in Broward County. Give Curvin a call, 954-549-8507, and tell him that Steve sent you. Let me tell you about CCTV RX. With over 30 years in the security industry here in South Florida, they have proven themselves to be the first choice when it comes to security professionals. So whether you're trying to secure your home or your business, there's no other choice. Give them a call today for a free estimate. 754-213-2820.
Whoa, did you guys see that? If that happens to you, call me at 305-316-8815 and I will help connect you with people that will fight for you.
All right, so we're back. And today we're talking with Jess Shayna about relationships and some of the things that we've been hearing, from men, women, all the same. So, and you guys could always catch her on her show. She has a show called The Discussion with Jess, Shayna, and Friends. It's on Sunday and Wednesday on Facebook Live. So definitely make sure you check her out. Check out her show. I mean, it's awesome. As you can see how she is on here, right? So let's go back to the discussion, and you guys could call in too. If any of you guys want to call in, definitely just use the number on the screen, 954-933-TALK. That's 954-933-8255. All righty. So, how are you? Let's get back to.
I think everything's good now, technically.
That's good. All right. So what are some of the things that you, as women, see with men that you think, need to change, or some of the misconceptions you have about men?
I don't really have misconceptions about men. I'm pretty on point, but that's just me. Some of the things that men need to work on is better communication. I know the number one, I don't like to say complaint, but the number one concern for women when it comes to men is consistency. You'll hear that it's like the number one thing. Men will get you to a certain point, and then all of a sudden they'll ghost you or they'll switch it up. So I would have to say,
what do you mean?
It seems as though, huh?
What do you mean?
Okay, say for instance, if a gentleman starts talking to you, everything is going pretty good and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, he'll kind of like the calls lessen, the dates lessen. It's like he's backing up, and he's not pursuing as he once did in the beginning. And I would have to say that's probably the number one.
I'll tell you something. And I'll use one of my stories actually about that. Years ago, after I got my divorce and I started dating and stuff like that, I ran into so many different women that things were good in the beginning, but then they died out. They died off real quick. And I'll give you a great example. This one lady, because everyone knows me. I like politics. I talk about politics a lot. All these different things.
Okay.
So we were talking, and I mentioned Joe Biden, and this was, of course, during the Obama administration time, and I mentioned Joe Biden, and she was like, "Who?" I was like, "Joe Biden," and she didn't know who I was talking about, and I'm like, "You know Barack Obama, right?" And she was like, "Yeah." So you see the white guy that's always with him, and she goes, "Yeah." I was like, "Joe Biden," and she goes, I'm like, "He's the vice president of the United States." Needless to say, that was the last phone call that we had between the two of us.
So wait a minute. So because she didn't know who he was, that turned you off?
Well, yeah, because you know what though? It's like, if I want to have a conversation, I don't expect you to know everything about everything, but you live in this country, you should know who the vice president is. I mean, it's like,
You know what? I think as humans, we lose possible opportunities that can turn into teaching tools and be wonderful opportunities to bring people closer. You could have absolutely used that opportunity to educate her, and to bring her in the fold of what it is that you like, rather than just to cut her off and judge her.
and then there was another one that I invited out, and she was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, we could go out on Friday." I was like, "Oh, great, no problem." And then Thursday she called me and she was like, "Oh, I don't have a babysitter, so I can't afford a babysitter." I'm thinking, okay, I've heard this story before. Let's see. So during the conversation, it was like, "Oh, well, if you could pay for the babysitter." "I'm gonna pay for your babysitter?" "Okay. No, we're gonna bypass that."
That was you should have read. Yeah. You did good. Run.
and then it was like, then in the same conversation, if you call me tomorrow and my phone is off, wait a minute, you want me to pay for
Yeah.
your and your phone? Nah, girl, you fine, but you're not that fine. I mean, we good.
And it's sad because I know gentlemen feel judged a lot by women, but
Mhm.
please understand, when we as women feel judged as well. So that's why I said, in particular, when you do meet people, it's very important to pay attention, be vigilant,
Mhm.
and move really slowly. You know what I mean? Because time definitely reveals a lot of things. I think we're too quick to just be like, "Ooh, they fine. Let me just do whatever I need to do with be with this person." But love and just the connection takes time. I think a lot of people make a lot of decisions based off of lust. And so, but to
True.
build a true connection with someone and to really understand that it takes a lot to get there, it comes with patience and it comes with time. And I feel like both men and women don't give each other enough of that, which
Tika
is
says,
why we end up in really messed up situations.
Tika says, men disappear and then reappear.
Well, they reappear because you allow them to reappear. It's a running joke for me and my
Mm.
team on the discussion with Just Shane and Friends. Hey Nikki, hey D-Vase, hey Rose. No, it's a running joke. I'm one and done because I let gentlemen know off rip, you get one chance. So you better put your good foot forward because I'm not here to waste time. I'm not. So that means whatever energy that you project or that you decide to switch up with, I'm coming with the same energy. So that means if we are communicating and you're showing interest and you're chasing me, I'm going to chase you back. I'm going to show the same type of energy. The minute you take your foot off of the gas, I'm stepping the brakes and I'm getting the hell out the car.
Wow. And you think I'm harsh, okay?
Right. One chance, done. You know why? Because if you really think about it, people are so willing to compromise for their own happiness. And I personally feel like because I know what type of woman I am, because I'm confident in it, I'm not judging a gentleman who is cautious or doesn't want to pursue it. I don't judge it. I'm just waiting for that one who is brave enough to understand and be able to assess me quickly and be like, yeah, she the one. I don't have time for games.
Wow. Okay. So and this and I'm just gonna touch on a lot of topics because we gotta get you back on the show again too, because I mean this is great. But what do you think about a person dating their friend's ex? Like you dating your best friend's ex, or your best friend dating your ex, or
We actually did a show. We actually covered
Really?
this topic on one of like a week ago. We covered this topic.
Um,
Is it cool for your ex to date your friend or your friend to date your ex? And my answer was hell to the no. But my co-host Rose was like, it wouldn't bother her. She was like,
Really?
I'm confident to know, right? A female, and she's very highly intellectual. And she was just like, it wouldn't bother me because I'm confident enough in myself to know that love can be found in any aspect. Unfortunately, I'm not that mature, and
Neither.
I'm petty. So, right, we would have a problem.
I mean, my thing is if let's say for example, my ex is dating my best friend or whatever, or if I'm dating my best friend's ex, and then it's like the things that he might be thinking, like, yo, did she do that thing with the tongue and the ring? Oh, yo, Nah, come
How are
on.
y'all gonna hang out together?
Yeah.
How we gonna go to the movies? How we gonna go on vacation? How we gonna go to dinner? You understand
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Like the whole purpose of being an ex is like I don't want to see you no more. That's number one.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
and when I was married and I had to explain this to my ex's family, like, oh well, you can still come over. Like, I broke up with all of y'all. Like when I'm
Mm.
done, I'm done. I will make sure that his children come because they can't break up with you. But y'all don't need to see me. Like
Mm.
when we're breaking up, there's done. Like you don't need to be friends with my friends. I don't need to be friends with your friends. I don't want. That's me going out on a date with you. That we might as well get back together.
You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, so me and my boy, we're gonna go on a double date with my ex, who's his new girl, and like what? How would that
Look,
work?
I'm not Jada, and you ain't Will. I'm not Alicia,
We don't
and
have
you not Swish Beats. Like
we
we're
don't have
not. That's
any
for the rich
entanglement
beer
going
people.
on. No entanglement
That's
going
for
on.
the rich beer people. We live in reality over here.
I know, right? That's crazy. Um, like she chased a dude. What?
What happened?
I have no idea what the
I didn't
person is
hear
talking
either.
about. Celeste Tone. I
Okay,
don't
hold on.
know.
I didn't let me read. Are you reading the comments or?
Yeah, I was reading the comments. I'm not sure what Celeste is talking about. Um, but the thing, let me ask you another question. What about so if like now you just said about divorcing about your former in-laws. Okay, so your past in-laws, you don't talk to any of them at all anymore? I mean, what if you and your sister-in-law were really tight back then, were good friends? What are you gonna just drop her because now you divorced her brother?
We still communicate. I'm very mature on that aspect when it comes to my children. But
Mm.
as far and it's very amicable when we do come together, and there's a basis of respect. But am I trying to hang out and talk to you every single day? Absolutely not. Like that part of my requirement of being a wife is done. I don't need to
Mm.
do. If it's not about the kids, there's nothing really else for us to talk about.
Okay, so but all right, so we see some of these other people too. Like there's a lady that used to work with me, and I mean she takes it to the extreme. She and her ex
What is?
and she and her ex and the ex and his new wife went on vacation together.
No, I'm not about that life. I'm not gonna do that.
I'm like
I
I
am
don't understand.
PETTY. I am not. Why do I need? Listen, if I were to even, if I were to even think or try to fathom going on vacation, it would be a kid friendly vacation with the father, me, and the kids. I would acknowledge on doing that. But as far
So
as like adding other people, like even though I'm not with him, I'm not trying to see him be around another female, and especially my friend. It's
okay,
just
well here's the
awkward.
thing. Okay, so and you just mentioned okay the family vacation. So let's say for example your kid you're going on I don't know you want to go on a family vacation or whatever. Is it okay then for you, the kid, and your ex if it's something to do with your kid?
Yeah,
Let's
I
say your
guess
kid is
so.
graduating college. Your kid's graduating college up in Gainesville, and or wherever, and now all of a sudden what? But you're not going to share a hotel room though.
No, absolutely not.
She's like,
Absolutely not. I think
that was
I
before.
think there should be a basis of and it could be complicated, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Me personally, when it comes to
Mm.
my ex-husband and our kids, we put our children's happiness above everything. So if that comes along with, hey, they want to hang out, for graduation, they want to go to Disney World. Cool. Is that the first thing on my wish list? Hell to the no. But,
Right. But for the
for
sake
the
of the kid,
happiness of my child, I will
exactly.
sacrifice 1 or 2 days.
And that's the thing, because like I said, I'm divorced. I was divorced now for 10 years. But anyhow, and that's my thing. It's like, for the sake of my daughter, hey, listen, her birthday, we can do dinner, we can do whatever, and also you have to be,
I
you also
absolutely
have to
agree.
have, a relationship with your ex to an extent to be able to talk, because if not, the child's going to get over on both of you. The child's going to be like, oh, I'm over at
And, be-
mom's.
and believe it or not, when you guys are not together as a couple, your relationship becomes more imperative and important to
Yeah.
co-parent. That actually trumps everything, because
Mhm.
you're both still responsible for a life that you brought into this world.
Exactly.
So that right there in itself, your relationship is way more important than your personal feelings. Your parenting relationship. You guys are still gonna have to be able to communicate with one another, get along with one another, and for your kids' sake. And it's sad for those people who don't know how to get out of their own feelings in order to do that.
But you know what? And a lot of times people don't realize that. Jennifer was actually saying some people cannot be in a relationship, but yeah, that's true. They're good as friends. She said not sure about the double date, which is true.
Right. Nobody is about that life.
And no, I'm not gonna do that. That's like you said, that's the Will and Jada thing. That's not the Steve's thing. That I'm not gonna do that.
That's
But
their entanglement. They can keep that.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? When I get to that level and I have that kind of money, then yeah, we could talk about our entanglements and all kind of stuff. But right now, um,
Absolutely.
she said we all date someone's ex. Yeah, but I'm not dating my friend's ex. I mean, that's different. I'm not.
Right.
It's
That's like so close to home. That is so close to home. And the only thing I'm gonna be thinking about is like, how long have y'all been waiting for us to break up?
boom.
Or have you been waiting for us to break up? And I'm crazy, so then I start to make up real stories in my own little mind. So I'm gonna be like,
Exactly.
so how long have you been interested in my man?
I'm gonna be sitting there thinking to myself, I'm gonna be like, wait a second. She told me last year that he came over when I wasn't home, but he knew I was at work. Why'd he come over?
Right. Suspicion is a killer.
He knew I was at work. And then the time he said he helped to change the tire. Wait, what was he doing in the same area as her when he changed the tire?
No, I'm not even willing to put myself through that. I'm not even gonna put
Nah,
myself through that. So it's a no for me. Heads up. I give a thumbs up to Rose. I'm glad she can do it. I cannot do it. I'm not that mature.
And my thing is, if you were married, then maybe you didn't talk to your friends about all the things. But guys, we know how we do. If it's just a casual thing, you talk about a lot of stuff. And then now all of a sudden, nah, we good.
We talk about a lot of things too, believe it or not. Well, women probably don't say as much because we just don't want to make our men appealing to the other women. We definitely don't do that. Men talk about it because it's bragging on them. It comes from an arrogant view. Women don't talk about their men because it comes from more of like, I don't want to tell you how good my man is. Like that part.
I see. I never thought about it that way.
Yeah. Competition. We see every woman as competition.
Well, Jennifer said, what if the ex was years before you became friends?
I don't understand. If your ex was
let's say for example, you broke up with your ex 5 years ago, but me and him are friends that work together. And then I see you and I'm like, damn, can I date you now that me and him are friends, even though you and him broke up years ago? Or is that still off limit?
I think you would have to weigh the options on that. Yeah, I really do. Me personally, if it was me, and let's say for instance, I broke up with a dude years ago and I became friends with this young lady and they just happened to meet, I would let them know, like, yo, I used to date him. And me personally, I would kind of pull myself away from the situation just because it would be awkward. Like, I don't want you to come to me and have to tell me some stories. I don't want none of that.
Especially when you might know, he's like, oh, I gotta go away for the week. My aunt Susie died, and then you're like, wait a second, he don't have an aunt Susie.
Right, because
Do you tell your friend?
inadvertently, especially for women, inadvertently, they will change. They will try to make you like the inside track. So, well, when you guys were dating, did he do this? It's like, oh no, now you trying to bring me into your no, thank you.
So if let's say for example now you mentioned your co-host Rose, you mentioned her by name, so I'll use her as an example. So let's say for example you're dating this guy, and then one day he comes in and over to where you guys are doing your show once we get the COVID-19 done and you're back in the studio, and Rose go, oh, that's my ex John. What happens then?
and I'm already dating John.
Yeah, you probably went out maybe 2 or 3 times. Not that you've been dating for a year, but you gone out like maybe 2 times, 3 times.
And that was her ex?
Yep. Her direct ex.
That
Not
would be
like,
a turn off.
like
It would be a turn off. For me, it would be a turn off. I know that we're all exes in some right, but I just don't want to know everybody's ex. Like I'd rather make my own ex. I don't want to review nobody else's.
I hear you.
That's like sifting through somebody else's garbage. I have garbage, yes, but I made that garbage. I don't want to sift through your garbage too.
Well, one man's trash is another man's treasure. You never know.
I'm straight on all of that. I have enough of my own damn garbage.
Oh man, that's too funny. That's funny. But so, what is it that you look for in a guy?
I hate this question. I try to stay away from these questions because I do get asked a lot. Just know I do not set unrealistic goals or boundaries. So whatever I look for in a gentleman, I possess those same qualities. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, because what's so crazy is when I hear women saying, "Oh, I want a guy that's rich, and I want this, and I want that," and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, because Mark Zuckerberg is really sitting there saying, "Oh my God, I really want this girl that's broke, and I want." Yeah, you got to come halfway to the table. I mean, even if you're not at the same table, be in the same room as the guy that you want to. I'm like, and that's the crazy part.
I mean, that's where it comes unrealistic goals. It's like, I did a study years and years ago with a room of females, young ladies who I used to tutor, and the concept of dating came up. So I had them do an exercise. On one side of the paper, you have 5 minutes to list 10 things that you want out of a guy. Boy, they went to it. Bam, 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 bam. Everybody had like 20 or 30 things listed within, 5 minutes. Then I said, okay, turn the paper over. Now I want you to list 10 things that you have to offer within 5 minutes. And they barely could make it to 10. So I did that to say this. A lot of times we come to the table not even understanding what it is that we have to offer. I used to think that dating as you get older would be easier, and it's actually harder because 9 times out of 10, you're not just coming to the table alone. You have children, you have an ex, you have other responsibilities. So I would have to say this: as you get older and you start to date, it becomes even more paramount that you understand what it is that you have to the table and what you're actually bringing to the table before you set these unrealistic goals.
That's true. There's a lot that people don't realize, and sometimes too, we don't realize that we actually do have something to offer. We actually do have something to bring to the table, because what happens is, to us, it may seem like nothing. Sometimes just listening is something that you can bring to the table, because listening and not judging. That's one of the biggest things for men and women. It's going to be a thing where, sometimes you just want someone to listen to you without judging you. Boom, that's it.
I think as a whole, if we had more empathy towards one another, more understanding, the more willingness to be transparent, that would give a person the confidence to be a little bit more transparent. If we offer up empathy and understanding first, somebody's gonna have to make the first move to bring comfortability into wanting to know someone. So in other words, when you do meet somebody that piques your interest, be the first one to show empathy and understanding. And that way you'll have a better chance of that person opening up and being transparent.
All right, sounds good. All right, so let me get a last 1 minute clip from you. The 1 minute thing you want to leave with our viewers. and of course, our viewers are going to be reminded to check you out on your show, The Discussion with Just Shayna and Friends. It's Wednesday and Sunday on Facebook Live, and definitely you guys got to check her out. If you think she's good here, check her out there.
Thank you. The one thing I would have to say that I wanted to leave to everybody is that everybody's been hurt. Everybody wants to be loved. Not all the times are we going to find each other at the right space at the right time. Be patient. Take accountability and ownership for your own happiness and for your own truth. Do not put that responsibility on anyone else. It's only your responsibility to make yourself happy. Don't look to other people to make you happy. Invite them to join you in your happiness and protect your happiness at all costs.
That's what I'm talking about. Words of wisdom. All right? Wisdom. All right, guys. Shayna, thank you very much for being on the show. I appreciate it.
We're gonna
have to. But you know what?
I would love to come back.
We should make this like a weekly thing or something, because I really definitely enjoy your conversation.
And I promise next time I'll be more situated. I promise.
No, you're great. Tika said you need more than a minute to wrap up. She said it was a very interesting talk. Jennifer,
thank you,
Jennifer agrees. Jennifer's like, for real, we definitely got to do this again. I'm thinking we'll work out something where we can broadcast it on both platforms.
Right.
But
thank you, everybody. Thank you, all the listeners. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to join me on my page, Just Shayna. You can find me on Facebook, and definitely check out everything. If you inbox me, because I think I'm maxed at 5,000 followers, just inbox me and I'll add you on as a friend. But thank you so much for having me, Miss. I really appreciate it.
You appreciate it. You are really appreciated in the community, because you're bringing a lot of information out there that we sometimes we have the misconception in our mind, and we don't have anyone telling us the truth about it. So we appreciate you. We appreciate what you're doing. Okay.
Oh, can I say one more thing? Also, this month I'm promoting it's Mental Health Awareness Month. I don't know if a lot of people know that. So what's on our fan page, what we're doing is we're doing the Are You Okay challenge. I'm challenging everybody to check on one person that you haven't talked to in years. I think as a culture, it's important for us to at least call. Just that one phone call could change somebody's life or outlook in that moment. So it's the Are You Okay challenge. Just reach out and stop depending on social media. Everybody could get up here and smile, but are they really okay? So that's exactly just what I want to say. Join our challenge, the Are You Okay challenge.
Yeah, because you could text a person and the person texts back and say, yeah, I'm okay. But then you call them up and you talk to them, that's like, yeah, I'm okay. And you're like, nah, you don't sound okay.
No, get up, go see them. Check on everybody.
Be like, I'm gonna be doing a little bit. You get dressed and get dressed. Everything's closed, but we're still gonna go for a walk on the beach or something. We got to talk. Right. All right. I'll talk to you later, though. All right.
All right, bye. Thank you. Bye, guys.
All right, bye. Guys, I really appreciate you guys being being here with me and talking to Shayna, because I mean, this young lady is powerful. She's dynamic. She's doing great things. As you can see, she brings a lot to the table. She has a lot of insight and a lot of info that she can bring to everyone. So check her out. Check out her show. Again, it's Just Shayna and Friends. The discussion with Just Shayna and Friends, and it's Wednesdays and Sundays on Facebook Live. All right. Also, Gary McDonald, you've seen him on my show before. He has a new book that's out, Role Reversal, and check that out. That's a crazy book, but you know how Gary is already. Gary's crazy altogether. But check it out. Go to my website, lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com, and you can see the book there. All right. So again, as Shayna just said, check in on someone that you haven't seen in a long time. All right. Call them, go visit them, whatever, no matter what the situation was like, no matter how you guys ended the situation. Listen, we can't just keep harboring bitter feelings about things. Call them up, check on them, because when they're gone, then you're going to say, oh my God, I should have, could have, would have. Listen, don't go through all that. Do it now. Call them and check on them. As always, I encourage you guys to go to the website. I have links on there for different things. I have actually I just put a link up today for the National Missing and Exploited Children website. Go on there, go on my website, lunchtimetalkwithsteve.com, and you can click on that, and you put in your zip code. There's so many kids that are missing in this country that you don't see on the news. Just because they're not on the news doesn't mean they're not missing. All right. Go in there, put in your state, your city, whatever, just so you can get an idea of who is, because you might pass this kid in Walmart or at the 7-Eleven or whatever, and you can help to save that kid's life. Come on. We got to start doing more for each other. All right. So go on there. You're going to see things like Feed America. If you need to find where the nearest food bank is, where you can go and pick up free food. 211. If you need to do things with 211. If you need to get your electricity paid, if you need to get your rental assistance, whatever, they're all on there. So many of them are on there. Suicide prevention, because sometimes we need people to talk to, and you don't really want to talk to your friends or your relatives because they may be the problem. Suicide prevention, check them out. We'll have all these links on here where these are services that are free to you all over the United States, no matter where you live. All right, so check these services out. Guys, as always, I ask you to take care of yourself, take care of each other. Do a random act of kindness for a stranger, all right? Because one day that stranger might be you, and you might need someone else to do a random act of kindness for you. As always, thank you very much. You guys have a great day. See y'all tomorrow. Peace, people. Let me tell you about CCTV RX. With over 30 years in the security industry here in South Florida, they have proven themselves to be the first choice when it comes to security professionals. So whether you're trying to secure your home or your business, there's no other choice. Give them a call today for a free estimate. 754-213-2820. If your car could talk, it would say call Curvin's Car Detailing Service. It's mobile and they can come to you no matter where you are in Broward County. Give Curvin a call, 954-549-8507, and tell him that Steve sent you.
Baby, won't you take me there? I want some real good food to eat. I want shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving. I want shucking and jiving.
Well, I know I got what you want. I know you like that diamond shrimp. My son and fish and them geechee grits. My granddaddy make you have a fit. I try to give you all of my best. I do it straight from the heart. Cooking straight from the soul. Now, straight from the soul. Yeah.
Come on down to Shuckin' and Jive, Cajun food with an old school groove. Our designers to get your taste palette back in line, baby. Follow us at We Shuckin'.
La la